Alright, here we go. Yes, we want to play first. And I'm not going to send it back. I don't love it. But I can live with it. What it says to me is that I probably have to dig up a plains. Which means I may not get the flashback out of it right away, but I will have third turn Ripper. Unless I happen to draw a second plane and want to go for the rider instead. And if that happens, then I'd have a third turn Lingering Souls. And, you know, it's not ideal. Would have much rather been able to lead with a plains and put out the Cathar. Maybe even Evolving Wilds for the swamp. Get an Air Force going, but it is what it is. And I've had a lot worse openings than this. 3 land in the opening hand, and 3 of the 4 cards able to cast off of that land. That's a keeper. I wonder what Bob Cards is doing. Apparently his game still is going. Okay. Looks like he's ready to go now. Look at that plains, and of course that means I'm going to draw plains. Well, maybe not. Not all bad. Something to do with my mana there. Depending on what he plays, will help determine what I want to do. And with this, I think I probably want to go just attack in with the Cathar. If he's willing to trade, I'm willing to trade. I like the getting the spirits generated. Put on a point there. Okay, that's good. And that's lucky. Oh well, we get the Ripper. You can attack him. Can't really block. So we can get a little bit of growth out of him. Now potentially he could swing back for 5 with a Scholar. And I think we just swing away again. See what he does. Okay, I think, let's be smart about this. I think we just Brimstone Volley that guy. Force him to pitch another creature if he wants to trade. Which he does. But as I said, that gets another creature out of his hand. Here's what he drew. We have the Lingering Souls flashback plus a dagger equip coming up. And rally the peasants seems pretty good here too. Swing for 5. He probably kills the token. Well, he has to sack a creature to untap him. So you'd have to play something, sack it. Then if he attacks, he's just killing one of those, and you'd have to sack something to untap it again. If he doesn't, potentially the Rally the Peasants just wins it right there. That was a fast game if it gets there. I'm not sure that will. He could also have some sort of board clearer. Not sure if there is a red universal burn. Scorch the Fields wouldn't only kill my Cathar. And there isn't like Whip Flare, Slag Storm, those are from previous sets. Okay. So that tells me we win. Yeah. Actually got 25 in there on turn 7. So the deck worked well. Got a little bit lucky with drawing that, well, a lot lucky with drawing that swamp, but regardless, deck worked well. Here, yes, we need to mulligan, and I guess no. It's not great, but it has answers. If we can get a plains, that would give me a 3rd turn and 4th turn play. With any luck, he gives me something I can shoot at. Still in need of a plains. But the Brimstone Volley gives me something to do. And as it turned out, Fretful Delusion, yeah, that hurts. I guess Spare from Evil. It's probably my most useless card currently. Now that on a Midnight Guard wouldn't be bad, especially if I had got a little extra play out of my burn. Gonna need a land though, sometime soon. Okay. So I guess we go mana effective. Put that out. If he uses the mana, we don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, we could burn his guy and swing for extra. We could Seascape. I could counter it. But as usual, two Desperate Ravens. So I got some more card draw available to him. He's down to 3 cards. I have 2 threats. He potentially is losing his threat. I think I would rather have a Seascape in the graveyard. I couldn't sack the Cultist to kill a Seascape on its own. If he chooses to block, I can't kill him that way. It allows me to put out guard and equip next turn, which 4/3. Have to see what he has. Mm-hmm. 4/3 doesn't beat a 4/5. But a bunch of little ones just might. So that gives me quite a bit in the air. I can put the dagger on something. Also have the option of putting out the guard, which will make him so he can't really attack profitably. Unless he gets another quality defender. He's at 3 cards. He still has that to flashback. Still has Forbidden Alchemy to flashback. Oh, and Cackling Counterpart. I do hate that card with passion. I suppose if we can attack for 4. And trade. He could flash it back next turn if he wanted to. But we have 2 Rally the Peasants. And if at this point I would be adding 16 damage. Wow. But yeah, I would make all of them into 5/5s. Or 5/1s. Sorry. Not 5/5. Very different than 5/5. Okay. So that's not great. It's half my life total gone. But I'll know whether or not he's cackling counterparting Because if he uses any of his land, and he isn't. And that's an interesting draw. It buys me time. Unless he can kill it, which he already flashed back his bounce spell, so he'd have to have drawn another one. If he can't bounce it, then I can make all of them larger on the attack. And not knowing what he has in his hand is really the tough thing. I'm not fearful of him cackling counterparting, because he doesn't have any creatures that I fear right now. Forbidden Alchemy would take up all of his mana and he wouldn't be able to do anything else. Desperate Ravings may be his best bet, and if he Desperate Ravings, then that tells me he probably is desperate. That's a heck of a top deck. And he did indeed go for it. Discards a swamp. So now he needs an answer that's 4 mana or less. And if he pulled a Silent Departure or Grasp of Phantoms, he would have already cast it. Whatever he's doing is going to take some consideration. Mm. I really want to know what what he drew. He's going through every scenario in his head. This guy could pump them all up, so we'd be dealing 12 and equipping, so we'd be dealing 14. Then you would have to block this guy, who would be an 8/5. So unless he has an answer for 2 flyers, if he drew a Brimstone Volley, that would be an answer because he could have attacked and block, and then he'd kill it. Well, but I don't know if, I mean, Rack with Madness would kill it. He could cast it, but I don't think it can be anything that simple, or else he would have cast it. So he must be racking his brain and searching his graveyard for an answer. And with any luck, he won't find it. Just to check, it looks like events going along. That's always interesting to see. One of the big pros losing to probably some sucky no name like myself. I don't know if any of these other people are bigwigs. Okay. So he's going for the mill. victory. Oh no, he's trying to mill himself to find something. And I win. Okay, well, fun deck to play, pretty straightforward. But both times worked out well for me, and if you weren't already on the Lingering Souls bandwagon, my god, jump aboard.